Good morning, my millionaire growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating heaven on earth, people, and the way that I do it, number one, is that I help people to realize that what they consider to be their soul is actually the spirit of God. And it's like all you have to do, people, is take claim to that, man, and you become God, and you can, the spirit can use you as his vessel to deliver his will onto this world. I am also creating financial freedom for billions of people across this world. I am creating a million millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God, people, and most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message for you today, people, is learning how to be God. I've had this message for going on maybe 4 days now, and every day some other downloads kind of beat this one out, but I want to share with you, man, some critical stuff. Obviously, I've always mentioned that I've been on my journey, my spiritual journey now since December 2021. And it's like the process of going on that journey, especially for somebody who's never really been a religious person, is that I've gone through a lot of phases, and it's like one of the phases for the up until last February, I've called myself many other things. I've called myself a prophet. I don't remember what other terms I've used, but if you watch my different videos, you'll hear different things. Or at one point I wasn't even saying nothing because I didn't even know what to call it. But ever since I've had my soul took control, which happened January 15th of 2024, which is a day I'll never ever forget, when my soul took possession of my body and become the leading force in my life, is that it's like I've never said up until then. It was after that when the spirit kept sharing with me that I need to declare and say every single day that I am God. And obviously I've told the story plenty of times where I did it for a period of time and I would stop because family and friends and and so forth, especially family, a close family member especially, would tell me to stop. And I did it temporarily and the spirit would work on me. I've never gone longer than a month without saying it, but I know I did it twice last year where I took a break from saying that. And every time, the spirit came back to me. It was like I need to get back on task and say that every single day, and it's like, even though I say it right now, because even though you say that, it's like, our minds, people, the programming that was done to us, man, there's some work, especially from the religious standpoint, and just thinking that God is outside of you. At one point I believe God was in the sky. I believe I needed Jesus to save me or deliver a message to God and all of these things, because these are what religion teach you, is that the spirit of God is outside of you, when it's the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this whole journey has been crazy, because it's like for the longest time, even when the spirit kept telling me to say it, I wouldn't say it from time to time for like the first month after I got the instruction to do it, because I'm like, God, again, this is where your flesh come in, where you start caring what other people think. It's like, okay, God, according to religion, that's blasphemy. I shouldn't be saying that. I shouldn't be doing this. You know what I'm saying? And all of that stuff, man. And it's like, that's why the spirit have to work on people first, man. You have to go through a cleansing process. And even though I had been cleansed a lot, there was still a lot of stuff in me that I had to kill off, mostly my ego, because anytime you start caring what people think, realize that it is your flesh, it is your ego that's speaking, not the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And I had to get to the point where I had to stop caring what my family thought about what I was doing. I had to stop caring about what people around me thought I was doing, employees, whatever, man. I had to stop caring, man, and just do what God instructed me to do. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, even now, it's like when I say co-creator, like earlier this week, it's happened twice now, whereas I'm meditating, I find myself just like January 15th of last year, where uncontrollably, I kept saying the phrase out of my mouth that I am God and I manifest the words I speak. I am God and I manifest the words I speak. Now this time I wasn't crying. I didn't need, I don't know. I guess I've grown past that part. January 15th of last year, that happened for about 5 minutes uncontrollably, where I had a lot of downloads. That's when I first experienced a flash of downloads, like a lot of downloads coming into me. And if you go back to videos at 24, you'll hear me talk about it. But, you know, there's a lot of downloads. I didn't know what the hell you call them then, but that's what they were. A lot of downloads as I was chanting and I was crying uncontrollably, but I was chanting, I am God and I manifest the words I speak for about 5 minutes. And there was a lot of downloads that came through in that 5 minutes, you know. But right now for this week, you know, it's like what the Spirit is bringing to me, man, and sharing to me is for me to continue to keep growing and taking ownership of who I really am out here. You know what I'm saying? And what that is, people, is who I say I am. I am who I say I am. I am the Spirit of God. Otis Tucker, yes, I claim that. I'm an alignment. I'm an aligned mind, body, and spirit. My body is Otis Tucker. My spirit, my soul is the Spirit of God, and my mind is is divine, man. It's the bridge that brings, that connects, that aligns the body with the spirit. My mind allowed me to do that, to be able to live in both worlds. It's like my soul live in the 5th dimension, and my mind get to go there. And my body live in this 3D world, and my mind is here too. So it's like I live in both worlds, people. And that's what that looks like when you hear me say that I live in the 5D world, but I also live in the 3D world. And what I'm in the process of doing right now is collapsing those two worlds, you know? Is to be more of who I am in the 5D world, in this 3D world. And this is what that looks like, people, is me taking ownership of who I know I am. I am the Spirit of God. I am God, and I don't care who believes it or who cares. You know, I'm at the point where it's like, I don't care, man. I don't care your people's opinion, man. I'm grateful and love who I am, and I know what I'm here to do. I'm here to change this world, man. I'm here to indeed create heaven on earth with the help of God's soldiers, man, who's part of this collective that we're creating. You know what I'm saying? And that collective includes everybody, you know, no matter what race you are. I know I'm very pro-black and I speak black every single day because, damn it, I've lived that experience in this world. But this collective is here for everybody, you know, white, brown, yellow, everybody, man. Everybody's included in this, you know what I'm saying? Because those requirements, I say those 3 requirements you must do in order to be a part of the collective every single day. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, my collective, and this is what I was saying to you, man, why I love, you know, how God used, you know, TikTok to really allow us to connect with other light workers, man, because it's like we get so used to smaller in ourselves so we can, I don't want to say blend in more with society, but it's like we minimize ourselves, speaking of myself, that is, to where even though I know that I'm God, it's like I'm acting a lot of times like I'm not. So it's like, why am I doing that? I don't know. I'm exploring that, people. All I know is this. I'm declaring and taking ownership of who I am. And the things that God keeps showing me is that I am the King of all kings, man. I am the Lord of all lords. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have dominion over the light and the darkness, people. Like, I am just as comfortable in both arenas, man. They both answer to me in the words I speak. The words I speak, indeed, people must manifest. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, with knowing that too, it's like I have to be more cautious of the words I speak, because my words indeed speak life or death. Like, quite literally. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, as I share this with you people, it's like, this is new for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no manual that come to this. This has never been done before. Not in modern times. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm figuring the shit out as I go, man. You know what I'm saying? Being authentically me. I'm not perfect. I'm figuring stuff out. And I have no shame in saying that, man. You know what I'm saying? I know a few things, like in the sense that I know my visions. I know what I see. So I know those shall come to pass. And that's what gives me the confidence to not judge people, because, you know, even though people will say different things about whether it's Andre Olness or Abraham Torre, see, I know and sense people's energy, and I see people's heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know, it's like, I don't have to know you from a conversation. I just know who you are in the spirit. And who you are in the spirit is who you really are, not what people perceive you as. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm learning people how to be God, you know? And I think the first step in doing that, though, is that I have to own full sovereignty of who and whose I am, is who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just a co-creator with the Spirit of God. Damn it, I am God. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it sounds so crazy just saying that. It's like, it's hard to wrap my mind around it. So I can just imagine for people that see me and try to figure that out for themselves too, like what's going on. But it makes sense though. Where else does this knowledge come from? People, I tell you, I don't read books, I should say. I do read, but I don't read books. I scan stuff here and there, but mostly I'm a person where I create knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Who taught me how to do that? This past life, you know what I mean? I'm remembering who I am, people, and that's what it is. And as I remember who I am and I share these downloads every day, what I'm doing too is that I'm waking up the soul in people. And, you know, I'm just extremely grateful for my position, and even though I don't know where everything is going to go from here, I know there's nothing but amazing and great things to come, because I see the end, people. And that's what gives me the confidence I have, is because I don't just believe these things. These things I freaking know must come to pass. Thus says the Lord. You know what I'm saying? If I declare it, whatever I declare, so shall it be, because I have that authority by the Spirit of God, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm learning how to not fall in the trap of living a logical life, but instead just trusting the Spirit of God to lead me in divine ways and divine purpose, because that doesn't follow logic. God don't think like we think, people. You know what I'm saying? As human beings, is that, you know, it's more purpose driven. Anyways, man, I'll continue to tell you over time what it looks like as I create that, because I just know that I need to start creating that, because that's the next step. I'm just grateful now, though, that I am full sovereignty, in a sense that I own who I am. I know who I am. I am God. And the truth is, all of you that's hearing me, that's on the sound of my voice, you know it to be true. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it so cool, because you guys know before I know. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's an exciting journey, man. I'm very grateful. I feel very privileged to be in this position. And believe me when I tell you, God have took me through enough fire to where I know how to really meet you where you are and help you to go from where you are to where you need to be, people. I genuinely have love and compassion for people. By no means am I perfect, people, and there's no such thing as perfection anyway. And the beautiful thing about life is just owning who you are, man. All your faults, your strengths, your weaknesses, and just being very self-aware, you know, of how you're being. But I look forward to continuing to explore that, and I'll share with you as time goes by, as I create those new ways of being, of what God is and what does that look like. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about it, though. Anyways, people, shout out to my co-creators, man, of Heaven and Earth International. This is the space where, in this collective, we are indeed creating heaven on earth, people. And anybody can be a part of this collective, regardless of your race or any of that stuff, man. I feel like I need to say that, because I know I'm very pro-black when I'm on here. But I include everybody, people. I love everybody. I just have, you know, a soft spot for black people, man, because I've lived that life. Anyways, people, with that being said, man, listen real quick. Here's the gift that you receive by being a part of this collective. Number one is peace, people. You will have a peace that you have never experienced before. And the way you know it, people, is you'll be so calm. No matter what is happening, you are calm as I don't know what, man. That calm is your proof and your confirmation to yourself that the Spirit is in control. Because when the Spirit is in control, people, is you have a calm like that nobody has ever seen. Also, people, is peace. Yeah, well, I just said that. That's the peace. Peace is the calm. Is joy, man. You have that genuine joy inside of you where you're just excited about life. You know, I thought about it, I think earlier this week or Sunday. I was like, man, literally, I sleep maybe 3 to 5 hours a day. And it's not that I'm intentionally trying to do it that way. It's just my routine. But, you know, because I get up every single night, like in the middle of the night, people. Every night by 1 o'clock, between 1 and 3. And I'm praying. You know what I'm saying? And that could take, you know, I pray and feed my mind by connecting with collectives. And I do that for about an hour or so. But my point I'm trying to get at, man, is the joy that I have. You know, genuine joy, the vibrancy, and even your appearance, people. Like, I feel younger than I've ever been. And I like the way I look. I look young. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to be 44 next month. I like that, man. That's one of the joy will do that to your people, is it'll bring out the beauty that's inside of you, man, and much so on the outside. And that's what this seems like is happening here, is the beauty that God has given me. The joy inside is controlling how I appear in this world, and I love it. The next one, people, is love, man. You have love and compassion for people, and you'll realize that people will genuinely love you also because of your authenticity. So love is indeed your portion. Believe that to be your portion, because it is so. And for those of you that don't have a life partner, believe it and it shall be yours. That is indeed part of your portion. So that will come about, whatever that looks like for you. Also, people, is favor, man. God's favor over my life and over your life, people, is awesome, because God will make the impossible happen for you. No matter how impossible things may seem, it's only impossible in the human form. But in the spiritual realm, everything is abundant. Everything is possible. There's infinite possibilities that works out in your favor. So just know that favor is your portion. God will put you in rooms that you never even know exist. He will have opportunities come and find you, come and hunt you down, man. And I'm excited for you for that. Also, people, is blessing, man. God's blessing is where it guides your thoughts, it guides your heart, it guides your step, man. So you move in a direction that will bring you to your higher self, so you can actually experience your amazing life right here on earth. In other words, your heaven on earth. You know, you'll experience that, people. Next one, people, is protection, man. You know, protection, people, is one of my favorite, because in this crazy world that we have out here, it's only divine source, man, that can really grant you true protection from any ill will, any harm, or any ill intention, man. God will confuse your enemy. He will drive them crazy. And anybody that sent negative energy in any way, shape, or form to God's chosen people, man, I decree and declare that will be returning to send a tenfold. You know what I'm saying? Thus says the Lord, people. Don't mess with God's chosen people, man. You leave their ass alone, people. You know what I'm saying? Because karma will really pay you a visit, and you're not gonna like it. I promise you that, man. So I'm sparing you the headache, the heartache, the confusion, the craziness in your life. If you ain't got nothing to say good about God's people, man, shut your mouth, man. Leave their ass alone. Don't speak on them. Don't try to do anything to harm them, man. Because if you think things is bad now, it'll be 10 times worse. That I know. Thus says the Lord. Anyways, people, here's the requirements to be a part of this collective, man. Number one, people, is that you must choose to believe that the Spirit of God lives inside of you. And you start off with a belief, people, until you get to the point where I am. I don't know how long it will take you, to where you go from believing to knowing. But for right now, I need you to choose to believe that the Spirit of God lives inside of you. And as you do that, people, then God can use you. And as you continue to elevate in your journey, your spiritual journey, that's when you receive more and more of these blessings, these gifts that God gives. Next one, people, is yes, you need to follow my pages on social media, and you need to watch my videos every day. I didn't say sometime, I say every day, because as you watch these videos, especially now, people, like I'm coming raw, man, with these downloads. You know what I'm saying? I have limited filters at this point. I just say whatever the heck come to mind, because I'm letting the Spirit lead me and be the guiding force in my life. So you need to watch these videos every day, because the message I'm speaking is speaking directly to your soul. And I'm literally transforming your life, people. You just don't see it yet, but I'm rising the Spirit of God that's inside of you to eventually take possession of your body and become the leading force in your life. Number three requirement, people, is that yes, you need to speak your truth, man. The truth that I'm referring to is not what you're physically experiencing in this 3D world. That's not your reality. Your reality, people, is the higher version of yourself, the beautiful, amazing vision that God have given to you of what that looks like. That is your reality. And I'm here to help you, people, to be that bridge to help guide you on your journey. But I need for you to basically, I can't do it for you. So you have to talk about your process, your experience on how you're going from being just the flesh to being a fifth dimensional being, which is the Spirit of God. You know what I'm saying? So you have to talk about your journey and be vulnerable, man. I'm telling you, vulnerability is your greatest strength. It's just that the world teach you opposite. But I'm telling you, man, you heal, number one, when you're vulnerable. And number two is that you're really and truly reaching and blessing other people when you're vulnerable, people. So get busy sharing your experience, man. I promise you, there's a lot of people waiting for you to receive their breakthrough. Shout out to Jamaica, man, who is the eye of this world. Shout out to Africa, who's the mother of this world. And shout out to the entire Caribbean and the African diaspora across this world. You know, people, I say this much, man. Of course, right now, you know, we're in the rebuilding phase down there in Jamaica. You know, one thing I will say about Andronis, man, and I really applaud you, man, for having good confidence and not be, you know, it's like you pick your battles, man. He could have got out in the bigger the hurricane and just do what everybody else do, but that's not a leader, man. A leader stands firm in his belief. And, you know, I was glad that he didn't just run out there, go handing out freaking package right away, but instead they saw all the poor from all over the world, people coming in for that. It was very strategic and put together the foundation that we need to now rebuild Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he already announced that he's in the process of building 150,000 house. I think as that gets going, I'm excited about that. But I'm also excited on how we can build on that and increase the amount of houses as time goes by to include for other Jamaicans that, you know what I'm saying, is in need of it, you know? I look forward to that. I also really like the program he's putting together right now. So instead of people waiting in line to pick up care packages every day, I think right now they got about 40 businesses in the damaged areas where they're helping them by loaning them generators, because again, these are businesses. Like, these are not people. These are businesses that he's loaning, that are for profit. He's loaning them the equipment, like the generator, as well as the Starlink thing, so that way they can get the Wi-Fi up and running, get the ATMs running, and helping them with loans even if they need to rebuild a business. So I'm excited about that, because that's the lifeline of the country, is the businesses that cater and serve the people. So I look forward to that getting back up and running. Also the cambios and whatnot, very excited about that, getting that up and running. So for those people abroad, which is very big in Jamaica, where people send remittances so people can go out and be able to get the money from the cambios. The voucher system, though, is what I'm excited about. As they help the businesses to get established, one of the things we're going to be doing is to make things very transparent, is giving people, from my understanding, either a voucher or a card that they can use so they can track the purchases, you know, of who got what. And I think that's a smart idea, because now it gives us the accountability that we're looking for, people. Is that, of course, I'm all about transparency. I want to make sure that every freaking dime that we get from these foreign governments or people for the relief of Jamaicans actually go to Jamaicans. I don't want this in no damn politician pockets. So it's like, I love systems like this, and I love to be able to see all the buildings that's happening, the process on that, and even how to expand on that. And if we haven't, well, I don't think nobody ever talked about this yet, but I want to see this happen, is where those lands that we have that is not being utilized, we need to start figuring out how we can parcel those out and give them to people. It's like, why we have all these empty lands out there and like nobody's using it. That would help us to expand, so we, you know, expand to areas that we're not fully in right now, build up more infrastructure out there and more ecosystem. Remember what I said, people. Vision God showed me for Jamaica is that we'll have a population of 10 million people. It didn't say exactly when, but I know we can have 10 million people. I don't know exactly when, but I'll create that with time as we lay the infrastructure and stuff in place, and we'll create the systems and means to make that happen. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it works, people. Whatever you want, you create it. You don't wait for stuff to happen. You create the means to foster and make sure that that can happen. Also in Africa, real quick, man, what I will say, man, I definitely I'm proud of, what Abraham Traore is doing over there in Africa, man. One thing I will say is this: definitely, people of Jamaica, just know we definitely support you, Abraham Traore. We really do. And I believe also that even though you guys seem to be talking past each other, I think you and Andrew Holiness have a lot in common, more than y'all think. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I see where I can help bridge that gap next year. So we focus on the big goal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had similar paths. We've been colonialized, you know what I'm saying, and become independent. And now we're building on that independence to become sovereign nations. You know what I'm saying? So we have similar journey and similar parts here. So there's more in common than there's differences. So I really look to bridge those gaps next year, because you are indeed, sir, when I tell you, a genius, in my opinion. And not only that, man, you just have the favor and grace of God upon your life, because the things you've been able to accomplish in less than 5 years is nothing short of a miracle, man. And I admire that about you. And I pray and hope, forget just pray and hope though, we're going to make it happen. Here's where you're going to help the unification of Africa. I look forward to being in Africa next year and meeting you in Africa, man, because we are going to do that, people. This is how we fulfill God's prophecy, man. You and Andrew Holiness will unite the Caribbean. You unite Africa, man. And I promise you, man, we are indeed, I say we because I know I'm instrumental in this, is that we are creating the greatest prosperity period that this world have ever seen, man, through the minds of black people all across this entire world, man, because it's in us. All we have to do is remember who we are. Anyways, people, I feel like this becoming a long meeting, man, so I'm going to cut it short. My declarations over your life, number one, is that you are a millionaire. You are married to the person of your dreams. You have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. My prayer for you today, people, is that the Spirit of God will continue to rise up inside of you, man, to expose your greatness, people, because greatness is in you. You just have to continue to trust the process. Keep on working on yourself every day. Submit your flesh onto the Spirit, man, so God can use you. Have a great day, y'all.